Okay, a pheasant tail nymph is a really common fly that we use a lot in of course, in the trout waters, and it's actually a good um, panfish fly as well, especially in the wintertime. This is a size 18 with a 5/32 size bead on it. I'm going to start out, I'm going to use a kind of a bronze looking, a bronze or a brown or a black tying thread, either one. Sometimes I'll use even olive on them, just depends. I'm going to start out with selecting some pheasant fibers for the tail. I'm going to wrap mine in copper wire. Copper or gold, either one is good. Kind of bend that out to the side, wind it down. Now I'm going to take some a little bit longer pheasant fibers. Whole section of tail. Take a few longer fibers here, like this. And what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to reverse them and tie them in by the tips this way. Come in and clean those little pieces off. Now from here, I'm going to wind forward. I personally always like to put a little head cement in here at this point. That'll help it stay together a little bit better. Now from here, I'm going to pull the fibers and stream them together and wind them in like this. Wind back, catch it here, tie it down like that. Take the copper wire, and since I wound this way, I'm going to wind the copper wire the other direction to help hold those fibers together. Tuck the tail of the wire under, come over the top this way. Now, we usually like some sort of a shell back on a pheasant tail. So what I'm going to do is go back and use some of these same kind of long fibers. They have a bit of a reddish tinge to them. Trim out a pretty good piece. Now from here, I'm going to fold these back this way, and I'm going to tie them in right on top. Pull them back up there if you need to a little bit. Wind back over them a little bit. Trim the butt sections off and clean the whole thing up a little bit. Now in this section right here, I usually like to make myself a loop here. Add a little dubbing wax. And then put either a brown or a green, or sometimes I'll use a little bit of something, a little pink in there, which is not really truly characteristic of a pheasant tail, but nevertheless makes a pretty good fly. Come in here, I'm going to add a few fibers this way. Wind them in a little bit. I like to take a tool and spin them. Back off your tying thread a bit, shove them up in there if you need to. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and wind them right in behind here. Just want a little ball of dubbing. I'm going to loop it over, come in right behind the bead, make a quick wrap, catch it, come up and trim it off. Now, you can actually leave it like that if you want to, but to be a little bit more realistic looking, we're going to pull it forward, and we're going to wind down here and catch those fibers and pull them right in behind the bead head. Smooth them out like that so they make a nice little shell back. Tighten it up a bit. Then we can take these and pull them back and wind in over them. Do your whip finish. Tighten it up. Trim it off. That's my favorite pheasant tail.